Introduce yourself, man.
Jimmy Lavender.
Jimmy the what Lavender?
Jimmy the Bishop Lavender.
Welcome to another episode, KM Videos, true stories.
I get my ball, you know what I'm saying? Rolling down the street in my city car. Oh, I hit front, back, side to side.
For my love, my dog, the pimp, the hog.
Check it out.
Khakis, dope, sweatshirt, and low song.
That was it. I never stopped banging. I started banging hard, then I got so hard till it was a shame.
Welcome to another episode of KM Videos, true stories.
Where did you get that name from?
Actually, it was given to me by some longtime friends, the Fortray Crips.
Fortray Crips. You didn't say gangster Crips. Why is that?
I don't recognize them as the gangster Crip. That wasn't what they were called along my days with them.
Yeah, you had folks from Fortray.
Yeah. I have my cousin Milton is from Fortray, Touche from Fortray. My family had been Fortrays. Since the beginning of Fortray, there has been a Lavender in Fortrays.
So, you used to spend a lot of time down there, right?
Yeah, I did. I did. My grandmother lived on 43rd and McKinley. So I've been going around that area since 1962, way before there was a Fortray. And then when I ended up going to Jefferson High School, I moved with my grandmother on 43rd and McKinley. And I used to hang around on 42nd, 43rd and Woodline, right there in the heart of Fortrays. So I knew them all. Alvin Curry, Kenny Curry, Sheila Curry, Upshaw, Pitbull, Johnny, Stonewall, Larry Strong. I ran around with the Ford brothers, Darryl and Milton Ford, Jr., Scott on 43rd Street, Donald Ray. I knew a lot of them.
So, look, what years were you at Jefferson High?
Well, here we go, Kev Mac.
5 or 6 years.
You know, man, look, I came at Jeff, I think it was late 1970, and I got kicked out from school to school. But I went to Jeff a second time. I think I came back there in 71. Yeah.
The homecoming situation. Was you at Jeff then?
I was. It's 1973. During that shooting, I was on the football field. And that was when the, what was called Acey Deuceys, then became the 40 Pyrus, was shooting at the Fortray as well as the Fortray Crips. So what I had was my friends from the Acey Deuceys, the 3 that went to jail. I don't think I need to call their name for shooting. Was shooting at the 4 and 5 trays, missed them, and hit my good friend Cheryl Jones, the homecoming queen. So my friends were shooting at my friends and messed around, hitting my friend. Crazy, huh?
That's actually a famous incident in LA gang history, you know, when the Crips and Bloods are coming into play.
It was, because you didn't have a lot of that on television, the news. But that hit the news that night, and like I said, that time when the shooting took place, I'm on the football team, so we were on the field. I think it was Washington High School. We were waiting to play, and the shooting canceled all that. Yeah.
So the 4 trays and 5 trays was cool back then.
Yeah, they were strong. They were one. There was 2 hamburger stands that were on 41st and Hooper Avenue. Little bitty hamburger stands, and they dominated being out front in both the hamburger stands after school together.
So as a bishop or Pueblo, somebody from another neighborhood, how How did you guys view them? Like you said, they were one, but did you guys view them as? How did you separate them? How did you know one from the other?
Well, those that hung around Baby J, those were 5 trays. And those that hung around with Daryl Ford and Cliff and Greg and all those guys, they were 4 trays. But it was, you pretty much just have to know the guys because they all wore the same thing. They hung out together. They patrolled the streets in the school together at that time. You just got to know the guys because I don't think there's any other way to know a 4 tray from a 5 tray. They all live right in the same area. You cross those streets, you're in 5 tray, and the other way you're in 4 tray. So I just knew a lot of them. So that's how I was able to distinguish who was who.
Coming over there, having family from over there, was there ever an issue with you coming to see your family?
No. I never had any problems with 4 tray. Like I said, I knew Stonewall and Daryl and Pitbull and my cousin Milton. He wasn't all the way in the car. So, but no, I never had any problems. Only problem that I once had was a certain 4 tray, and I won't call his name. He wanted to, or at least he thought he wanted to fight me. And that was, of course, over a girl. The new guy in the neighborhood, 65 Chevy, liked me, and he liked her. So, but it was the cool part about it was at a 4 tray party, and he was trying to stir up some stuff with me, and my buddies from 4 trays came out and said, nah, and they started laughing at him. Oh, come on, man. And that was the end of that. So.
Did you know or have any friendship with any run-ins with Black Johnny?
No, Johnny and I had never had any problems. Again, it was the 4 trays that actually gave me that name, Jimmy the Bishop. And let me elaborate on that name a little bit, if I may. When I came to Jeff, of course, that name Lavender, and always affiliated with bishops. So when I got to Jeff, there was some guys there from Cute 102, or a guy there from Cute 102, and questioned me, was I bounty hunter or bishop? I told him bishop. We put our hands up, and he lost. He lost, and he lost bad. And the 2 guys that was with him didn't help him. I told the story about how they rushed me in the bathroom. So about a week later, the Crips rushed me in the bathroom. About a week later, bishops come up to Jeff. It's a payback thing. That weekend, I guess the Crips trying to restore their school, their strength. And after I mentioned those 2 hamburger stands, they packed 100-something Crips over there. I got to go home. I stepped out on the deal. No. No. And I'm looking, I'm at the stairway and I'm looking, and my eyes are scanning. I can't go to the dean's office and say I need to ride home, I need some help, because they already told me, that they have to be responsible for me. I wasn't a Crip, I'm a bishop, I'm not wanted here. So if I tell them there's a problem, they're gonna do the responsible thing for my protection and get me on out to school. I didn't want to leave. So I'm looking, I'm scanning the crowd, and I see this one guy walking back and forth, tight leather coat on, his muscles coming through the leather coat. And I'm looking, because I can tell this guy was somebody in authority. And I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm like, it can't be. I said, I know it is. I walked off the stairs, walking towards all these Crips. I don't know what they were thinking. Walking towards all these Crips, and as I get closer, the muscle-bound guy turns around, and anybody that know him know his smile. And he put this big smile on his face, and I strode straight to him, He met me out in the street. We shook hands and embraced. And he said, I should have known Jimmy the Bishop. That guy was Pitbull, Julius Scott. And that sent a big signal for me that this is my friend. So that made it cool for me to go to Jeff without any more problems. And then Pitbull said, if anybody want to fight him, it's got to be head up. Now, I don't know if that's where the name Jimmy the Bishop actually came from, or did Julius just say it there, or in their little meetings that they may have had about the Bishop guy that goes to Jeff. Is that what he first said, Jimmy the Bishop or not? I don't know. But the first time I heard it was from Julius Scott, Pitbull.
There's another name that comes up when we're talking in circles with older guys, especially from the low bottoms, named Kool-Aid. Are you familiar with that name?
Kool-Aid, Phi Trey. Yeah, Kool-Aid had made a big name for himself. I want to say around 73. Around 73. Yeah, because he got shot in the early days of, I'm going to say Phi Trey's. Yeah.
He was maybe shot at the homecoming thing. He was in the newspaper. That's where I got the name from initially.
Okay.
With the Acey
Deuceys?
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have been one of the ones that got shot. I'm not really sure, but yeah, some of them got shot.
Was the Four Deuces out back then?
No.
40.
They tried to start something over there with the Four Deuces between Central and Avalon. They tried to start a little thing over there with a guy named Wolf back in the days, and that was called the All Direction.
The what?
All Directions. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that didn't last, and and they were feuding at that time with the Four Trays.
You made a connection between the Acey Deuceys and 40 Pyrus. Explain why you made that connection.
Well, after that incident happened at the parade, and the three Acey Deuceys went to the pen, they changed their name from Acey Deuceys to 40 Pyrus.
So those are in fact the original Pyrus and the Low Bottoms.
Yeah.
You wouldn't happen to know the connection to Compton or anything, would you?
Well, Kev Mac, let me tell you this. According to a brother named Thomas, Eddie Suggs, in the conversation we had, that it was Lil Vince himself came from Compton and turned them into Pyru.
This is Los Angeles. What up, Mark?